Are we live? How are you, man? Good. How is everyone going, man? I haven't been on the show for a while, have I? Uh,
Can't hear you. Yeah, so okay, we're back. All right, we're live. Like I said, Fair Grace says go the Lions. Jamar says hello to everybody. We're here. I don't want to be here, but we're here.
we are here. We are here.
Don't want to be here, but oh shit, that fell.
Well, it's round 6 already, man.
Round 6, yeah. Round 6 is
Can't believe
done.
it.
Yeah, it's because our season's already over. That's why I can't believe it.
Yep.
You know what? Usually when we do this, we go periodically from start to finish, but I'm going to bring up the fixtures. I don't know, John hasn't been a part of this since I've been doing it this way, so I'm going to bring up this page here. I don't know if John is watching it to see it, but there's the results. Me and John over there on the side. We're not even going to do it periodically. We're going to start with it. You can see it there. Man United 0, Spurs 3. Going to click on that. Let's see. The stats and that. None of it really matters. Van de Ven got given man of the match, if anyone cares about that. Brennan Johnson scored at 3rd minute. Dejan Kulusevski 47th minute, and Dominic Solanke 77th minute. All of that means real nothing. Just saying it out loud, but we're just going to go straight to John. The title of our show tonight is with a question mark, Erik Ten Hag gone. The poll is, will Erik Ten Hag see Christmas? 57% of people that are here have said no already. Just going to go straight with John's thoughts. As everyone knows, is our beloved United. For one, what did you think of the game? And what are we looking at going forward, in your opinion?
He's done, bro. I think he's done. Unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out. Yeah, look, where can you unwrap this? It's just so much to go through. It looks like the players have sort of down tools that game. They just look bang average, a lot of them. Some even look just amateurish. Talking on the game, starting from the back, I mean, Delo was just terrible. I don't know why is he persisting with Delo at left back.
He was bad, wasn't he, man? Like, actually, in particular him, he was bad, man.
Like, I didn't get it. I thought Mazwari can play left and right. So if you can play left and right, why don't you put him on the left? Because you know Delo plays his best football on the right. It's just little things like this. It just seems so obvious, but he does the opposite. So I don't know what the thinking for that is. Maybe Mazwari can't play left. He can only play right. Who knows?
Yeah, but they were saying that to us, though. You're correct. That's why we got him. We didn't go for a left back because he's versatile.
Yeah, so obviously not versatile enough.
Or Eric doesn't see it.
We just look really slow all around. We look disjointed. We look like we had no avenue to goal. Our build-up play was pathetic. Our passing was so poor. Just reaction time was terrible. Look, and I don't want to take credit away from Tottenham. They were fantastic. They from the first minute, they deserve all the 3 points. They probably deserved to win 5 or 6-0. They were great. They were pressure. But United, Jesus, like 37% at home possession, 37%. I mean, That is ridiculous for United to have 37% possession. Even back in the day when we used to go down to 10 men, we used to still look like a threat. But now these days, once the red card come out, there was no doubt in my mind it was just going to be a slippery slope down a crazy score. Lucky it was only 3-0. I was surprised it was 3-0. I actually went to bed about the 50th minute saying this is a disgrace after that second goal.
That's because, sorry to cut you off, but because our best player in a 3-0 loss was our goalkeeper, which is sad. It's sad to say. He was.
Yeah. Look, it's hard for me to throw players under the bus because a lot of them are new players, and I want to give them some time. But I was not impressed with Ugarte. I'm not impressed with De Ligt, but I'm not just singling them out. The whole 11, I'm really not impressed with. But
you know the thing about Ugarte is, right? He got him. He's a defensive midfielder, but how is it even with Casemiro? I was saying this at the start. How are any of them meant to look good when me and you are always messaging each other when the game's on? And I was saying it to you. What formation are we playing? Bruno was ahead of our striker. So then that leaves Mainu and Ugarte, whoever it is, doesn't matter if it's Ugarte, Mainu, whatever. They were by themselves against 3 people. So how's he meant to look good? You know what I mean? Like, you're killing him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like the players have just taken a few steps back in their professionalism and their just abilities. We just look so second rate. I mean, if you really dissect all the games we've played, yes, we've been moving around the ball a bit more this year, but I'll tell you what, you know what I mean? Like, the only 2 decent games have been Southampton and Barnsley. The rest of the Premier League games, you know, I reckon Palace would be our 3rd best, and we've got to draw then. I think we'll pour against Fulham, and we're lucky to win. It's just, I think Ten Hag's run out of time. I think he is a decent coach, but it's just the job's too big for him. Look, this season's a wash now. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, at the start of the year when we did our predictions, I did my predictions with my heart because I can never go against United. I love them too much. But in my head, Kerry, that I was thinking United are mid-table this year, and Ten Hag is gone before Christmas. And it looks like I should have went in my head with my predictions because I honestly think they should just part ways now. I can't see it getting any better.
Who they're going to get? Just Van Nistelrooy?
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
But the thing is, he's part of his coaching staff is going to have the same philosophy, isn't he?
I know, but it's just it's getting to the point where I don't know what to say about Ten Hag. I don't know what he's trying to say. I think it's just he keeps apologizing now. He's just given up. He's just apologizing now. So you can't even accept that as a Man United manager. And this is just unacceptable. Like, he kept his job because of the FA Cup. I get that, but the style of football, the eye test on Man United over the last 18 months. Honestly, since we won that Carabao Cup in his first year, ever since after that game, our play and just watching United has just been painful, man. It just
So is that this exactly where I put it to? Is if the job's too big for him, one, who the fuck is it not too big for? That's the first question. And the second question is it surely it's a combination of not just the manager, but the players as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, Ten Hag came into the club as the opposite of Ollie. We thought it was a breath of fresh air, the hard man approach, and it seemed to be working right at the start. But now, it just seems to be problem after problem. Is it the mentality of our players? Are they too soft? They can't take this stuff. Look, there's a lot of players that I don't like in our team that I don't think that are good enough. But it's becoming such a mess. I feel like we keep buying average players as well, but I don't know. We're supposed to have the best in class in scouting and recruiting, but it just feels like we're a million miles off that.
Listen, I totally agree. I think Listen, I truly believe you got to give the new boys a go. You got to give Dalit, Ugarte, Yoro, Mazraoui, even Martinez. I don't know who else. Whatever. You got to give them a go. Mainu, Garnacho, Hoyland. Yeah, sorry, I forgot Hoyland. That's 8 players off the top of my head. Even Onana, as much as he does my head in, like I said, he was the best player last night. So that's 9 players. You got to give them a go. But as much as I've loved him up until now, man, last night he was pathetic. Like Delos, like he's got to go. Rashford, I actually feel sorry for Rashford. Like last night when Van de Ven set that goal up, our fans were blaming Rashford, saying, he didn't tackle him. He's like, man, the guy ran 70 yards and it's Rashford's fault. So that means he's got to go because the fans just hate him. Like, how was that goal his fault? It wasn't. It's in no world is that his fault. So the fact that they hate him that much, he's got to go. Bruno, the one thing I will say, and this takes nothing away from Ange and Tottenham, I don't like swearing, whatever. In no fucking world is that a red card. I'm not saying it would have changed the game. It wouldn't have changed the game. They would have won anyway. They should have been 3-0 up anyway before it. But if that's a red card, why the fuck are we playing a contact sport? That was nothing. Like it wasn't above the knee. He tapped him on the shin pad because he slipped. Fuck me, that Kavanagh, he does it to us all the time when he was in. He's the one that he was the one that when he was in the VAR, he sent Casemiro off for saying he strangled someone when he didn't. Like it was. That Kavanagh is a pathetic referee. But like I said, that's nothing away from Tottenham. They should have won anyway. Even Reborn, how you going? He says hello. He says, I don't think that red card will stick. Like they'll overturn it because it was fucking ridiculous. But Bruno's got to go, bro.
I hope it does stick because I've gotten to the point where I wouldn't mind seeing Bruno not in the next 3 Premier League games.
You know the problem is Bruno is out, and then we got Mason Mount to come in.
Well, I'm not even that excited to see Mason Mount come in.
That's what I'm saying. That's my problem. Meanwhile, the other.
It honestly, it's like a curse on United. It's like any good player that comes to our club, we destroy. We're a career-ending club.
Oh, big time. And look, we're doing it to a manager. We're doing it to a manager now. He was the hottest property in the world, man, Erik Ten Hag. Man City wanted him. And we're killing him. We're killing him. We're killing the players. We got this.
He'll end up in some FC 20.
He will. Of course he will.
Galatasaray or something now because of our club. And look, it's just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable what's going on at United right now. It's like I said, I wish I tipped with my brain and I would have put United mid-table. We just look pathetic. We look pathetic, man. And obviously we're not going to be relegated or anything, but it's just we're a mid-table club. You got to face facts. We're a banter FC, and that's where we're at. You know what I mean? And if I was an opposition fan, I'd be laughing at United so hard right now.
100%. Well, even Reborn said there on what I was saying, the rant I said about that ref. He said even Madison said it wasn't a red card. The bloke that tells you that Kavanagh, he's terrible at it, and he's got a thing for United. I don't care what he says, mate. Like to send Casemiro off the other year in VAR for that when he wasn't strangling anyone. It was pathetic. Well, that was pathetic.
VAR should have intervened and said, "Listen, it wasn't."
Of course, they should have.
It wasn't Spriggs up. He hit him high, but it was his side of his foot.
Man, I was watching all the games last night on Goal Rush. VAR is a fucking farce. There was handballs happening, shit, and they do nothing anymore. It's because they're too scared now because of all the mistakes they made previously. But anyway, and then we got that other Pelican that I've admitted I never wanted to see him play for Man United again. But he's at Chelsea. He's already got more assists for Chelsea than he had in his Man United career.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
we'll get to Chelsea when we do, but it is what it is, man. Look, they're just going to keep digging it in when every time that guy does something well. So,
listen. He got an assist where he passed the ball to Cole Palmer, who took on 17 players and scored. To me, that's not an assist, but whatever. You know, by the stats, it is. But anyway, final word. How long's Erik got? You said he's done. How long's he got? If you had to call it, what's he got?
International break, but I honestly think it could be today in England time. You know what I mean? I got a feeling that it was his last game, but apparently the club has come out and said they backed him. I think that's the word from Manchester, that they've come out and backed him. So
yeah, but so we got Aston Villa away.
Well, we've got Porto midweek.
Porto first, and then Villa away.
Yeah, can you see Porto away and Villa away? Can you see anything from those games? Like,
no way.
Porto's a good team and Villa's a good team. So are we getting beaten? You know.
So if you were the manager right now, right? Say that happened with Bruno, would you drop him for the European game as well? Because I would if I was manager. Because I would want my team to be ready, a player to get a bit of minutes and a bit of cohesion with his team that's going to play against Aston Villa. Whether that's Mount, whoever it is, I don't know. I would play him against Porto and put Bruno on the bench. Say, listen, well, you got a red now, man. I need my team to get some, shit together, really.
He needs to just, I think he needs to just, if he's got any hope, Ten Hag, right, he honestly has to change. He needs to change tactics. He needs to just change it up completely, because what he's been trying to do for years is just not working at all. I don't know if he goes to like three at the back, wing back sort of positions, or just to go flat out 4-4-2, old school.
But I reckon he was trying that last night. That's what I was looking at. I was like, what is this formation? I reckon he was trying 4-4-2. It was crap.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Xerxes is the type of player, if you're going to play him, would suit a 4-4-2.
Play him in number 10. Play Eriksen number 10.
Yeah.
To punish Bruno. You can't keep putting in these performances.
So, yeah, look, I know we can't talk about United all night, but look, just pathetic stuff. Well, and it just hurts. Like, you know what it's like, man. It's another year that we're going to have to wait for. Like, we have to wait for hope again for 2025 start, kickoff. You know what I mean? That's how ridiculous it is. Like, all we're hoping for now is that we do well in Europa. That's our way to the Champions League. That's all it is now.
Listen,
I do feel
for him.
Top 4. Forget about even top 5. That is done, bro. It's done. There's no way we're even finishing above fucking Newcastle.
Listen, I feel for him, like I said, because, mate, I watched his Ajax teams, and I watched his Ajax teams thump some European giants, and they played. That's why we were excited. They played some football that we thought, man, this guy is wicked. For whatever reasons, I don't know why. It's because is he not allowed to drop Bruno? Is he not allowed? But he's dropped Rashford before, so he's obviously allowed to do it. But
Erik's been caught saying, I can't play that system with this team. You've spent 600 million. How can you not play a little bit like you were playing before?
Listen, man, there's whole sort, like you said, there's all these little things. There's things like you said, there's all these little things. There's things like, man, you stripped Harry Maguire of the captaincy, and somehow you still pick him.
Well, look, with that one, he wanted to sell him, and we all know that Harry Maguire didn't want to go to West Ham. He didn't want to get a wage cut, and United couldn't move him on. So what do you do with a player like that, man? Like, you just put him in reserves to rot? It's just...
I know. Listen.
You know what I mean? What do you do?
And like you said, we can't go about United all night, because we would if we could, because you can tell that we're obviously angry about it. But I'll read a few of these. Reborn says, it gets worse for you tonight if Bournemouth win, which they should. Absolutely, they should. Adyari Kangumba says, hi, Reeves, how are you? Erik Ten Hag should be sacked from Manchester United and Tuchel as the manager. Listen, I don't agree with that. I do not want Tuchel. I don't care.
I've stopped looking at the league table a long time ago.
No, but listen, I agree with that comment. Maybe he should be sacked. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't be, but I don't want Tuchel. I would rather Van Nistelrooy get it, or they go hammer and tongs for, like, try get Nagelsmann. You know, he's not at a club, he's at a national team, someone like that. You know what I mean? Try get.
It's starting to have that feeling now, like, the Ollie feeling at the end. You know what I mean?
Big time. It's what it is.
You got that feeling now.
Yeah. Zakal says hey to me and John and everyone on the chat, like he does. And then Reborn says, Erik's trying to do everything. Play out from the back, press, hit on the break, The team just seems disjointed, no real identity. I completely agree with that. So anyway, listen, I think no result, Porto Villa, he's gone. And I said that the other week. If he didn't get a win against Southampton, he was gone. I truly believe, that which will be international break. If he doesn't get something out of Villa, Porto, which I don't see how he gets it, I think he's gone. But we'll go on to the next one, man, because like I said, we go about it all night. We'll start from the start. It started off the week. Manchester City went to St. James Park against Newcastle, ended 1-1, which I thought was a big result for Newcastle considering Isak was injured. So they were missing him. Guardiola, I was watching it, he scored a nice goal, and then Gordon got a somewhat controversial penalty according to everyone. I mean, Alan Shearer and all that was saying it wasn't, but he was running, the keeper came out, any striker is going to do that, man. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, Alan Shearer would have done the exact same thing. And then he dispatched the penalty good. I don't know, that they dealt with Haaland pretty well. They were being physical with him, like real physical with him, and it worked. And yeah, big result for Newcastle. I mean, it ended up being a big result for Liverpool and Arsenal because, I don't know, there's something about City this year, man. They, even against Arsenal the week before, and now they're missing Rodri. Rodri's out for the season, I think, which I think is really going to hurt him. I don't know, you don't feel like you used to. You know, when you used to watch them, like last year, I'm talking like it was 10 years ago, but like last year you watch them and you think, no matter what, they're getting a goal. They'll win this. It doesn't look like that with them right now. I don't know what it is. De Bruyne's not there. Rodri. Yeah, I don't know. Reborn is saying the Rodri thing is going to hurt them. I don't know what it is, but they don't look like that. I don't think they can win the Champions League anymore now with Rodri gone. Listen, they might win the Premier League. I don't know, but they don't look like that team. Whereas you watch Arsenal and Liverpool and you think they'll get a goal, I think. Like, I don't know. Is City's dynasty maybe coming to an end a bit? You know, De Bruyne, you said this at the start of the year, De Bruyne getting older. Like, you know, Rodri injured. I don't know. Matata United says it should be 1952. He subbed to the channel. Matata United, I hope you're a United fan, man. So join in and I don't know what you think about the City, man. They just don't look the same to me.
Yeah, I mean, Rodri, you got to emphasize that injury big time.
Yeah,
you know, that's the big rock in the middle of the field there. You know, so I think that's going to be a big loss for City this year. And I think, look, Newcastle might have just set up a blueprint of how to handle Haaland. Don't give him space.
They were decking him. They were hitting him, decking him hard.
You just have to get in his face and, you know what I mean, limit his space. So that's what we got to do with these types of players. But yeah, look, I mean, Pep seems a little bit rattled since that Arsenal game. That was one crazy game. So looks a little bit rattled. But look, they're in the top two for sure. I still think this year, I think Rodri. Look, we both tip Arsenal to win the league. I still think Arsenal can win the league. But yeah, look, Man City, struggling a little bit. I wouldn't put the panic sirens on yet, but 2 draws in a row now for Pep. I hope they do keep slipping up points, I guess. So
you know what upsets me the most about it? I want them to keep slipping up, but I'm telling you, we tipped Arsenal, and we're going to talk about it. And you know, Reeves is probably going to be happy. I think the team everyone was sleeping on is Liverpool, man. Listen, obviously, I don't want them to win it if City don't win it, but I think they look better than Arsenal, even though they've lost the game this year. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, we'll talk about that. But yeah, listen, Reborn says, you know, it's bad for City. They were considering recalling Calvin Phillips from Ipswich. There you go. Wow. Why would they do that? Well, they got Kovacic. See, they got Gundogan back, right? And he was terrible the other night. He's not the same Gundogan of 2 years ago. maybe that's why Barcelona didn't care. It's like, oh, he's going, whatever. Like, so.
Mm.
Anyway, we'll go to the next one. This one, I watched this too. It was the main game of the Gold Rush. Talking about them. Arsenal's 2-0 half-time, and I was like, man, they're going to smack like Leicester. I picked Saka as my captain in the FPL because I thought they were going to destroy him. Goes back to 2-2, and then Arsenal scored 2 goals in stoppage time to make it 4-2. So the result looks convincing, but it was anything but. Like an own goal in the 90 plus 4, you can see here, and Kai Havertz 90 plus 9. Saka got man of the match, you can see there. It was a good game to watch. I'll say that. It was a good game to watch. Arsenal will be loving it. They got their draw against City, and then they come back and back it up with a win at home, albeit to a newly promoted team. But you can only play who's in front of you, and they got that win.
Yeah, look, it's been a very entertaining club to watch this year. All their games have been pretty competitive, good to watch. Look, defensively, they looked a bit rattled this game. Leicester did a great job. Created some good chances. But, yeah, look, they just, like you mentioned, in extra time, the 2 winners. But, yeah, look, sometimes, you just got to win the games that aren't pretty. They are signs of a championship team when you do that.
Absolutely.
So, look, I'd still be quietly confident if I was an Arsenal fan. But you'd be watching that Man City struggling a little bit, no Rodri. Yes, there's Liverpool to consider, but there's still question marks of Liverpool, a few of them. But that Nottingham Forest result. But yeah, look.
You know, there's no such thing as a quietly confident Arsenal fan.
They're already
they've got their cigars out already. They got their sunglasses. They're already there. We won it. They're unbelievable.
Well, look, Arsenal is probably my least hated out of the 3 of those teams.
100%.
I'm on Team Arsenal there. So look, 3 points for Arsenal. Leicester. Look, I predicted Leicester to escape the drop. I reckon they will. I think they're decent. But look, it was a tough ask to get a result over at the Emirates. So they did well enough to stay in it all the way to the 90th minute. But Arsenal too strong in the end.
We got a United question again, so we're going to answer it because someone in the chat, Ram, has said, "Do you think with the manager, the environment of United has been changed?" Listen, I think Erik did his best, man. I actually, from me and John talking about it off air, I think he agrees with me. I think Erik was in the right with Ronaldo. I truly believe he was in the right with Jadon Sancho as well. I think he tried to go down the route of, Sir Alex Ferguson as, I'm the man, I'm the boss, you don't mess with me. But I don't know if that Jose Mourinho, Alex Ferguson, Erik Ten Hag way works anymore. I don't know if that's just the way society is. I don't know what it is. But it's like, if we go to our jobs, man, our boss can yell at us and we got to deal with it. But it's like when it's in a soccer team, if the players are getting in trouble, it's like it's all, crybaby. I don't know. But listen, I've backed him with all those things, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know.
What does he mean by the environment? I
think he's saying did he change the environment of the club? And I think he tried to, but I don't think it's happened. I
honestly think Southgate's coming in, bro. I like it or not.
No way. With Rude there?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they give him interim or not, or they just go skip straight to Southgate. I don't know. I just.
No, but the fans will be up in arms. They'll be public enemy number 1 if they do that.
I just think Southgate's got too many mates in our board. They go out to dinner, these blokes. He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I truly believe. I think they'll be. Everyone will be holding Ineos out signs if they do that. The fans will not stand for that.
Yeah, they know the fans will just one good result, and everyone's like, "Oh, Southgate might be all right." That's how they'd be thinking. You know what I mean? Even though we don't want him. They were like,
Don't,
yeah,
mate.
they'll
What?
probably do that. They'll probably do that at the start, and then they'll get over it. You know what I mean?
You like trying to just want to ruin my whole weekend now. Like, it's far out. Southgate. Far out. Anyway, Ram.
Oh, bro.
Anyway, Ram, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. I hope we answered that. If you want to ask that question in a different light, if we didn't answer it for you, please do. But we'll go on to the next one. This result here, there was a few history-making results this week. This was the first one of them. I will tell you about it. Brentford, West Ham. Brentford, the first team ever to score in the first minute in 3 consecutive English Premier League games. They've done it 3 weeks in a row, and the previous 2 weeks they lost both games. This one they drew. Brian Mbeumo, he got man of the match as well, as we can see there. Listen, I actually believe West Ham are in a bit of trouble, but they ended up getting a result away at Brentford, even though they were 1-0 down in the first minute. 1-1, Thomas Souček. But I don't know, man. I said this last week. If I was a West Ham fan, I'd want David Moyes back. Lopetegui looks like a fish out of water.
I watched the second half of this game because I had a bet going, and this was the last leg. I needed Brentford to win, and obviously they didn't win. But they had some chances in the end, but just couldn't convert. But I'll tell you what, is that his name?
Mbeumo, he's killer, man. I like him.
He's a good player, man. I don't know how old he is. He's got a bold patch.
KG wants him at United.
He's got a bold patch, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I think he's only 25. I don't think he's old.
He's 25, so okay.
Yeah,
losing his head down. But he's a good player, man. I'll definitely take him at United. But yeah, look, it seemed like that second half when I watched it seemed like an even game. I think it was a scrappy sort of game. There was no really good sets of plays, but both teams had some chances in that second half. I think West Ham had a really good chance, but just couldn't convert. So yeah, is it Lopetegui? Is the
Lopetegui? Yeah,
So they were both screaming on the sideline. Him and is it Frank or Frank?
Thomas Frank. Yeah.
Yeah. So look,
the guy with 2 first names. Yeah, Thomas Frank.
But to me, watching that second half, I think a 1-1 draw was deserved in the end. Both teams didn't look good enough to take the 3 points. So, yeah, look, could this be a turnaround point for West Ham? They have been pretty bad this year. And, look, he's got to change them around soon because they have spent a bit of money this year. They've had one of their biggest transfers ever. So, they'll have to turn it around quick.
I'm upset. I didn't listen to my mate. I got a mate that said to me at the start of the year, he goes, I'm going to give you an FPL tip. He goes, Ivan Toney's gone. He goes, Brian Mbeumo is going to score all the goals. He goes, put him in your FPL because he's cheap. And I didn't do it. And he is, at the moment, I know it's only 6 rounds in, as I should have listened to him. It was...
Yeah, I've noticed him. He's in a couple of EPL teams in our league.
Yeah, because I think everyone knew it. Because when Tony got suspended last time, he scored like 10 goals. So, anyway, Stay Hunky says, tell him to leave. He's shit. I think Ivan is talking about Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah,
I actually don't believe he's shit, but yeah, I think his time's up. I do say that. Anyway, back to the next one. So this one, again... We'll talk about this. This was the other game that history was made. Cole Palmer, first player to score 4 goals in the first half of an English Premier League game. Obviously, he got man of the match. 4 goals. 2 of them were nice finishes. 1 was a penalty. 1 was an absolute cracker free kick. The one thing I'll say about this game, I was talking to my mate about it. Some managers borderline on suicide how much they tell their teams to play out from the back when they can't do it. There was 4 errors, I think, from trying to play out from both teams. Brighton made 2, I think, and Chelsea made 2 errors. Like, kick the ball, man. If in doubt, fucking kick it out. Like, it's the oldest rule in the book. But listen, they end up getting the result 4-2. Ivan says Palmer over the overhyped Foden. He's saying Palmer is a better player than Foden. But yeah, Chelsea 4, Brighton 2. It was a good game to watch, I tell you what. Like, the goals was just...
I tell you what, Man City will be feeling a bit, I don't know what's the word, but they'll be upset that they let Paul Palmer go.
In hindsight, what's he worth now compared to what they sell him for? 40 million, I think. What's he worth now?
Oh, you wouldn't get him any less than 100. No way.
No way, bro.
This kid's a player.
And you know what the worst thing about it is? He's a Man United fan because he's from Manchester, but he's not a City fan. He loves Man United. He's a Man United fan. He said it. He says it openly.
Well, you know, another miss for Man United because he ain't coming to our club now.
No way.
You know, I would love to swap Bruno for him. I'll do that right now. But look, it's just, yeah, it seems like things are clicking over for Chelsea. I was very bullish on Chelsea at the start of the year. I think, look, it's just the amount of talent they've brought in, it just has to click. And if Maresca can get it to click and get them to play, they're just gonna score goals, man. And it looks like it's starting to click, and it looks like they're starting to go. I'm not going to say, look, they're in the Premiership title race or anything, but definitely top 4 contender. And yeah,
even Jackson, even Nicholas Jackson looks wicked. The guy was terrible last year. He looks wild, bro.
He looks like he stepped up a level 2. They've got so many spoil for choice in attack. If you really look at their 2 holding midfielders, they spent over $200 million on those 2 holding midfielders, so it has to come good at some point. They've spent a lot of money on their D. I think James is still injured. They're probably his best defender, and he's not even playing. I'm not sure about their keeper, but
he's the weak point. Their weak point is their goalkeepers, 100%.
Yeah. So look, if you're a Chelsea fan, it's exciting times because they're a young team. They've got young, exciting players, and there's goals in their matches. You can watch a Chelsea match and you'll see goals. You know what I mean? You watch a United match, you won't see us kick a goal. That's
Imagine when their centre backs come of age, because they got Fofana, Colwill. These guys are kids. Imagine when they actually become seasoned pros. Their defense will be good and they're scoring goals. They're going to be like, I don't know. I agree. It looks good.
Look, he's done a good job so far, Maresca, and look, they're a good team to watch. And look, I'm not calling them a dark horse or anything, but it is a long season. It's only round 6. But yeah, they've impressed me this year, and they've impressed me so far. So I do see him in the top 4 at the moment. But Cole Palmer, what a player at the moment, and I think he is he'd have to be in the best player category in the.
Of course. Listen. There's one thing I'm going to say before I read all the chats. This is why I hate this Pelican that left Man United and has gone to Chelsea, Jadon Sancho. He come out and said, I spoke to Enzo Maresca, and he goes, because of the time I spent with him at Man City, he goes, that's why I wanted to go over there. Listen, and this is factual. Jadon Sancho left Man City in 2017. Enzo Maresca started working at Man City in 2020. So the guy is full of shit on top of being an absolute moron. And I'm telling you, it'll go pear-shaped for him at Chelsea as well. Because the kid, you can see by doing things like that, he's a moron. I don't care what anyone says. Anyway, but Cole Palmer, the rest of them, they're good. Once they sort out their back line, stop playing out from the back when they don't need to, they'll be even better. We'll read a few of the chats. Reborn says, Palmer could have scored 6 or more. He could have, man. He hit the post once. He goes, City will be screaming at that sale. Stay Hunky says, which is Ivan, says, KP, did you realise one thing? Newcastle humbled Haaland. We talked about that. They just went physical with him. Ivan says, please watch more Liverpool matches. I watch their matches, man. I watch most soccer. Don't worry about that. I just don't like Liverpool. But you will see goals at United just going in your own goal, Reborn says. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to see goals, watch United, but we can't be happy about that. Yeah, that's all the chats. Listen, in regards to that Haaland thing, I watched an interview with Nemanja Vidic on Rio Ferdinand's channel, and they said to Vidic, they go, "What would you do if you had to play against him?" And he goes, "Man, I'll just be physical." He goes, "People get scared of him because he's big." He goes, "But I'll just hit him because I'll break him." Like, and defenders aren't like that anymore. You know, they're very all defenders are ball players, right? It's all looking good. You miss that defender that's just willing to break someone in half. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you need against Haaland. But anyway, Zakal says KP FC 25 is out. It is, but I'm not getting it this year. Zakal, I didn't like last year's, so I'm sticking with NBA this year. All right. Next one. This was an absolute massive result for the other side of Merseyside. Crystal Palace still don't have a win, I believe. They went 1-0 up with Mark Gahey, and then Dwight McNeil scored. The equaliser was a cracker, and the second goal was actually real good too. He got given man of the match, as you can see in the stats there. Everton get their first win, 2-1. Big result for them against Palace. When you think about it, like we were saying, United, we couldn't beat Palace, so I know it was at their ground, but yeah, I just watched I didn't watch that game. I just saw the goal rush and saw the goals, but big result for Everton.
Yeah, look, that's going to relieve a lot of pressure for Dice. They needed that big time. Yeah, look, Everton have obviously been struggling this year, and is that their first win? Did you say so?
First win. Yep, first win.
Yeah, so you get the monkey off the back, and that's a good thing. Yeah, but focus on Palace here, So obviously the Elise sale has really affected him.
The Elise and the centre back man Anderson. He was wicked. They miss him, man. Both big. They're both big.
Palace had actually some great form towards the back end of last season.
They were wicked, man.
Obviously, they've started this season slow, so yeah, they'll need to correct that sooner rather than later. But yeah, kudos to Everton. They seem to get a result when needed, and yeah, they got one this weekend.
Would you take Eze now at United?
Yeah, I would take Eze, but it's just.
I'm not saying as a starter, but would you take him?
I would take him. I would take him, but yeah, it's just.
Like look at some of the players you could go from Palace.
You'd have to replace him. You have to replace Bruno. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't care. Replace him.
I don't think Erik's got the kahunas to do that. So.
Why are Omar Barada and all that there? That's their job, isn't that?
Yeah, but even though how bad Bruno can play, he just seems unsubbable, undroppable.
It's ridiculous. Like, look at some of the players from Palace Man United could have went for. Tariq Mitchell, left back. We don't even have a left back because one of our left backs prefers to play for England than play for his club. He's an absolute moron. One of them is missing in action. So we could have went for Tariq Mitchell. We could have went for Eze as a number 10, but we've got Mount, he's starring in Chuck Norris missing in action movies, gets injured every second week. Bruno, we don't know where he is. Like, Reborn says Elise is absolutely killing it for Bayern. He is. I've been seeing it. He is. And then Ivan says Everton are actually playing good, but they need to bring in average pro midfielders. Their midfield sucks. Yeah, because they sold Onana to Villa, which has hurt them. But, yeah, anyway. Big result for Everton. The last one of that day, I brought this guy in my FPL, man, because he seems to be starting now and scoring. Raul Jimenez, 1-0 for Fulham, away to Nottingham Forest. Big win for them. Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say on this game. It's a hard game to tip, I suppose. But yeah, Fulham, they are better than Forest, I believe. So yeah, look, they played it right against United when I watched them that time. And yeah, they look good on them. They've got it's an away win, isn't it, for Fulham?
Yep, 1-0 away.
It's always good to win away from home. And Forest, even though they won against Liverpool a few weeks back, I still think they're a danger team for relegation this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, well, that can take us on this. I thought this was an absolute massive result, man, for our ex-coach at Portman Road, Ipswich, to Guy McKenna's Ipswich, to Unai Emery's Villa 2, which are massive result, man. They went 1-0 up. Then Villa went 2-1 up, and then they equalised. Big, huge result, man. That's big for Ipswich.
Yeah, I was sort of half watching this game while I was playing PlayStation. It was just seemed Ipswich just have some great passes of play. You know what I mean? Like they just, I just like giving a lot of credit to Ipswich in this one. It's just they just played. They played some really good passes. They've worked the ball really well in the attack. And they were unlucky not to go ahead in that second half.
Yeah, man. Pau Torres made this stop. He slid like it was.
Yeah, but I mean, both keepers made some crazy saves. I have to admit, I've seen some crazy saves on both ends. But look, this game could have gone either way. But Ipswich, they could have edged this one. But 2-2 draws probably a deserved one here. They both played pretty well, but I was very impressed with Ipswich.
Yeah, big result for Ipswich. Listen, guys, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. That takes us on to the next one that a lot of the boys always want to hear about. Reborn, Ivan, GT. Liverpool, top of the table. They go to Wolves and win. Mate, 2-1. The ever-present, 2-1. The ever-present Mo Salah, even though it was a penalty, he scores again. Like, the guy just keeps on keeping on. He got man of the match as well, the fan vote, as you can see there. Konate scored. Ryan Atnuri had the goal for Wolves, but Liverpool top 2-1 away to Wolves. I think it's a pretty big. It's a good result. I think Wolves are. I know they're not doing well on the ladder, but they are a hard team to go and play. So listen. Big result by Liverpool. Ivan's happy. Reborn's happy. Yeah, I said this earlier. I think everyone's sleeping on Liverpool a bit, man. Which upsets me.
One thing I've got to say about Liverpool that I really like their midfield. I really like the McAllister, Slobozai, and Gravenberch trio. I really think all three are hard-working, working for each other, just making things tick in the middle for Liverpool. I mean, they've got great wingers in Salah and Diaz. I think Diaz is just one of the best ones in the league. Obviously, their striker, either Jota or Nunez, I think they could improve down the track, getting a better striker in. But they do a good job.
They still got Gakpo. They got Gakpo on the bench as well.
Yeah, well, that's right. They got Gakpo coming off the bench, and obviously they got Van Dijk, the rock at the bench at the back, where they just. The leadership from that bloke is immense, and obviously you got Alisson as well. So look, they got plenty of experience. This club, they got young players. They just got a good mixture at Liverpool. So yeah, look, Klopp has left this team in a good stead and a good position for Slot to just take over.
Absolutely.
I actually thought there'd be a lot more hiccups in the changeover of managers. But look, it was just that one slip up against Forest. But yeah, look, I have to admit, man, Liverpool have proved me wrong, and they're playing really good football. And yeah, look, they're in the mix. They're up there. So yeah, look, if you're a Liverpool fan, you'll be thinking, hey, hang on a minute, we've got a shout here. Man City dropping points. Arsenal have dropped a couple. There's a lot of focus on those two clubs.
Oh, yeah, they're just quietly going under the radar.
You know what I mean? We just keep doing what we're doing, you know what I mean? And we won't get that pressure on us until maybe later on in the season. So, yeah, I mean, Wolves, not the hardest club in the Premier League, but, you only play who's in front of you, and they won 2-1. So, yeah, it's a good result for Liverpool.
Yeah, listen, a few of the boys have said something. Reborn says, we made it hard for ourselves. Glad we got the win. GT says, I'm happy. But you're correct, Reeves. We made it a bit hard. Zakel says, is the King going live for the NRL Grand Final next week? I believe he is. I'm pretty sure he is. The one thing I will say that's different about them this year is last week, I remember who they played against. Can't remember who they played against, but they were winning 4-0 or something at halftime or 3-0. If that was Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, they would have went and won 7-0. But Arne Slot's Liverpool is, all right, we've got the win. Let's just control it and we keep it 3-0. That's the difference there. And listen, that's a good manager, I think. The one thing I say, and I hate saying it, bringing it back, that they smashed us 3-0, right? What upset me the most was they came to Old Trafford and just Arne Slot looked like he was the man. He looked like he was in Goodfellas and he was the top dog, and they just ran over us like, yep, we'll do whatever we want. So he's got that confidence about him, which is good for Liverpool fans. They're top. Not much more to say. Listen, so we'll quickly go on to the fixtures and give our tips. There is one game left in this round, which is Bournemouth at home to Southampton. What do you got there, man, for the last round 6 game?
I think Bournemouth should win. I mean, Southampton don't look the greatest so far, but you never know in these types of games. It could go either way, but look, you'd have to go with the home team in Bournemouth.
Yeah. I'll read out, sorry, Mark put a chat in, our good friend Mark. He says, morning, guys. Happy Aberdeen fan here. 12 wins in a row to start the season. Hearts up next, and then the big one against Celtic. Hey, listen, I believe John is as well, man. That's our team in Scotland, man. For Sir Alex, we love the Aberdeen, Mark. So you got to go with Sir Alex.
You only hear sort of Celtic and Rangers win that league, so yeah. Go Aberdeen.
Listen, the last team to win it besides them was Sir Alex's Aberdeen in the 80s. So that tells you all that needs to tell you. So
it's been a lot very heavy.
So hopefully they can win it again. That would be great if they could win it again. All right, but that takes us on. Start of the week, Crystal Palace have not won a game yet, and Liverpool are rolling into town at Selhurst Park, mate. What?
Oh, geez, if you're a Palace fan, you're like, oh, God, now we have to play Liverpool. I think Liverpool win this. I haven't been impressed with Palace this year at all, so I'm going 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool get the job done. I don't know how they counteract Liverpool. I know it upsets the boys when I say it. Listen, I don't want it to happen, but I think Liverpool will win. I hope they don't, but... yeah, and then, mate, they're going to want to win because of Arsenal's game next, which is next. Arsenal at home to Southampton. Ivan says 6-0 Liverpool.
I reckon this could be 3 or 4-0 Arsenal. I think they'll be too powerful in the attack for Southampton, and it could be 4 or 5 actually. So.
Yeah, I think they smash them. Yeah.
Arsenal will make sure of this one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Reborn says they're going to spank Southampton as well. Then we've got Brentford, because there's a few teams now like us and Arsenal, Brentford that had 2 away games in a row. Now they've all got 2 home games in a row. Actually, Me United away to Villa, sorry. But yeah, a few of the teams that had 2 away games have got 2 home games, and Brentford are one of them with Arsenal. They're at home to Wolves. You know what? That's a tough game to pick, man. I don't know about that. I'm going to tip Brentford.
Yeah, look, how do you say his name?
Mbeumo. Brian Mbeumo.
Mbeumo's going to get another first-minute goal. And
imagine that. If he did that, that would be unbelievable. If they get a first-minute goal, they'd break their own record. But yeah. Next one is the winless Leicester. Back up at home to Bournemouth. I mean, it's hard to tip. Don't know because Bournemouth. I mean, if Bournemouth go and lose to Southampton tomorrow morning, then it could change my tip. But listen, Leicester, I think are in a bit of trouble. I don't think they're going to stay up.
So is it Leicester versus who? Sorry,
Bournemouth.
I think get Leicester they haven't won one this year, have they?
Nah, they're winless.
I think Leicester get the monkey off the back.
John brings out his hashtag nice guy t-shirt and he goes for Leicester. This one here is Manchester City at home to Fulham. Part of the goal rush.
I think Man City are too strong. Even without Rodri, I think Fulham just don't have enough to...
Can Adama Traore and Raul Jimenez and that just pull something?
No, I don't think so. And I think Pep, especially after 2 draws, I think Pep comes out huge here, and I think they smash him. I think it's 4-0.
Yeah, it might be something like that. I just remember when Traore and Jimenez were playing for Wolves, they always used to give Man City trouble. But listen, I don't know. I agree. Man City going to win, and then we got West Ham at home to Ipswich. I truly believe if West Ham don't win this home game, I say sorry to your Uncle Con, man. They're in trouble.
But
If they don't win this, they're in big trouble.
Well, Ipswich are playing better football right now. That's
100% they are.
So, I mean, West Ham should win really at home.
You know what?
Really.
I'm going Ipswich, man. I'm tipping Ipswich.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm going Ipswich too.
And then the next one is another big game. They got their first win. Newcastle obviously coming off a huge draw against Man City. Everton at home to Newcastle.
This is a tough game to pick, but I'm going to go Newcastle. I do like Gordon. I think he's a player.
I think Isak will be back too.
Yeah, I'm going to go Newcastle.
Yeah. Ivan was talking about, he said in the chat there, about the Brentford goals, 22 seconds, 33 seconds, 23 seconds. We spoke about it. Ivan was saying they actually made history. They're the first team ever to score in the first minute in 3 consecutive Premier League games. So, huge effort by them.
That's a hard record to beat now.
No way, man. They ain't getting You know what, though? I truly believed I would never see anyone break Robbie Fowler's hat-trick record. And then I remember Mane broke it at Southampton. I never thought I'd see anyone break that record. But, yeah, record's there to be broken, but that's a hard one to break. That's
a hard one to break.
Oh, yeah. All right. This takes us on. Listen, you can put as much as you want into this if you want to talk about it for whatever. Villa Park, Sunday night, hosting Man United.
I mean, if we sack Ten Hag, I think with a manager bounce, we get the result. Ten Hag in charge.
He won there last year when he was under the pump.
I just can't see it. I just can't see it. This team is so disjointed. The new players aren't gelling with the old players. It seems like a mess, and I just can't see it fixing in a week's time.
Reborn said 3-0 Villa. The one thing I will say, the reason he gets results against Villa is because Unai Emery plays this wicked high line, and it suits when Man United counter-attack because their players... but they've got... Yeah, but Tottenham do it, but they've got Van de Ven, who is factually the quickest player in the Premier League. He can get back. Lucas Digne is not quicker than Rashford or Garnacho. Neither is their other fullback. I forget who it is. Neither is Pau Torres. They play high line, and they don't have that recovery pace. That's why they get caught out. But that's why they do concede a bit of goals. You can see it. They conceded 2 to Ipswich. But yeah, I agree. I don't really see it. But you know me, I would never tip against Man United, even though. So I'm not even going to give a tip. I don't. I think, you know what? I actually think Eric pulls something out of the hat. I don't know. I think the fact that if the red card stands, it might actually help Man United. I don't know who plays. If he plays Mount, Ericsson, I actually think we play better when Ericsson plays. It's the international break straight after.
Is the international break after this weekend?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think it might be now.
I think if he loses, he's done. He's sacked. I believe they'll sack him.
Now in the coffin for Eric, man.
But I don't want Southgate, like you said. Right. I don't want any of that. I would rather Van Nistelrooy and they go hammer and tong for Nagelsmann.
Eric could be sacked right now while we're live.
He could be. Yeah, he could be. I mean, Mark did a video before and it said, I'm sorry, and it said Eric sacked as his thumbnail, but with a question, he did what we did.
I think it's morning time in England, isn't it?
Reborn, has Eric been sacked yet, man? Tell us.
I think it's the morning. Monday morning?
Yeah. Listen, Ivan is a diehard Liverpool fan, and he wrote they're going to bounce back Man United 5-3.
Wow. I hope we win. I always hope Man United win, even regardless if I think the manager's done or not. So, look, I hope we win, but it's so hard to see at Villa Park.
It's midday. Yeah. Reborn says it's midday there. So if we haven't heard anything yet, he hasn't been sacked.
Okay.
Listen, I'll tell you what. John sent me a message during the game, and he was like, if we lose, Eric, and I was like, we were so depressed. I was like, but I don't want. I was like a little kid. I was like, but I don't want to lose. So I was like, Anyway, next one, Chelsea at home to Nottingham Forest. Mate, I think Cole Palmer captain this week.
Yeah, look, he's in my fantasy team. We got 25.
He's in mine too. I think me and you are two of the only ones that not many people have him.
Yeah, so I wish I had the cat.
I wish I had the Cats.
I didn't realize this. Like 2 hours before the first game, you have to change
Yeah, that's what drew me the other week. Apparently, there's a lockout. I'm like, what do you
the
mean an
lockout.
hour lockout? That's ridiculous.
And I had Rogers from Aston Villa as my captain. But he
He
scored a
did well.
goal.
He
So
scored. He scored a
I
goal. He did
was
well.
lucky. So yeah, look, Chelsea are going to smash Forest. It's
Yeah,
going to be five goals in this game, and
yeah,
it could be 5-2 or 5-3, something stupid like that. So
yeah.
yeah,
Reborn says is talking in all seriousness. He goes, "Has heard nothing about Erik Ten Hag being, and it's midday there." So, Mark says hopefully because he's a Forest fan, aside from his Aberdeen fan, hopefully Forest 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. I mean, you would love that. GT
wow.
says Eric is hanging on by a thread.
I mean, I gotta say kudos to Mark. He's gone for the under. He's got his team's a very underdog sort of team. So good on
Yeah,
you, mate.
well, I think he's from Aberdeen. That's why he goes for them in particular. But his English team is Nottingham Forest, as he's told me. He says he's got Palmer in his fantasy team as well. Yeah, this takes us on to the last one. Brighton, after getting pumped by Chelsea, hosting Spurs, who are coming off an absolute massive win for Ange, and Tottenham at Old Trafford 3-0. Brighton hosting Spurs.
I just don't like Brighton this year at all. I
Yeah,
think
I
they were
agree.
lucky. I think they were lucky against Man United.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
We were a better team then. So I think the bubbles burst now for Brighton. They was such a good team for that few seasons.
Dude,
But
their manager is 31 years old. I don't care what anyone says. That's ridiculous.
that's young.
How do you
That's
take
very,
you got players? That's like me, like I'm still playing so like how do you take him? That's he's 31.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you need an element of age to
Of
get a bit of
course,
more
man.
respect. So, like, what has he done before 31? You know what I
Nah, that's
mean?
ridiculous.
So,
Oh
but
no,
look,
that's too young, man.
yeah. So who's Brighton playing again?
Spurs, they got Spurs. So Spurs
Yeah,
having a bit of a break.
I'm picking Spurs.
Yeah, listen, I'm going with Spurs. Listen, I actually think I said this to a lot. I've got a few friends like over there that were absolutely bagging Ange. And I was saying to him, listen, I'm not happy that it was against Man United, but Tottenham have actually played really well this year. They probably should have beat Arsenal and didn't. They absolutely thumped us. They've got the most possession in the league. They've created the most chances in the league. Listen, Ange is a good coach. And
bring Ange to United, man.
listen, we all know that here in Australia, how good he actually is. Mark knows that in Scotland, how good he is. What he did was he's a really good coach. And he copped a lot of flack this year because they lost to Arsenal, for fuck's sake. Like a lot of people are going to lose to him. Anyway, yeah, I think Spurs win, and the only positive that came out of that is good on Ange that he's getting a bit of credit that he deserves. But yeah, is Milner still at Brighton? Reborn says, yeah, he is. Chris C comes in late with the Go Spurs. Just he's got
Chris
like his finger
Chris
in the bullet hole, and it's just that's unbelievable. But yeah, listen, that's it. We've done. We had our rant. We ranted about Man United probably for half an hour. We gave our predictions. We actually talked. We pretty much watched every game. Really good show. Talk more about Man United if you like. GT says no. We're not going to talk more about Man United because we got worked up before. And we've talked enough.
Like I've got all these grey hairs, man. I'm a Crow supporter and a Man United supporter, and it's tough. It's been tough for years now. So,
you know what? I would have said Matty Nix was in more trouble than Erik Ten Hag at the start of the year, but I'll turn my head on that one.
and they're both bald. They're both bald, man.
It's not the case anymore. It's not the case. But final thoughts, man. What is it? Is will Eric be the manager at the international break? Will he be Man United's manager?
Look, I don't think he will. I don't think this can go on. It's too dire right now. I don't know if the players are backing him. I honestly don't know. It just looks like he's lost control at the club, and I feel like just having Van Nistelrooy as the head guy is just going to bring a bit of a fresh air. So even though I don't think Van Nistelrooy is long term, but I don't know, man. I can't see a world where Erik turns this around. I just can't see it.
You know what? If I was rude, because I feel this way about my club here. Like if I played so much for my club here, if I was in Rude's situation and I got in that job now and I knew I was interim, I would walk in that change room, mate, and I would tell the most home truths because what do you got to lose? I'll say at the moment, I'll say to him at the moment, none of yous have what it takes to be Man United players. Prove me wrong. In no uncertain terms, I would put it on the players. And then, you know what? If they don't turn around for him, you know it's the players. You actually know it's the players.
And just make some crazy changes,
that's it.
Drop, just completely change the system or the tactics or whatever, and it's go nuts. So,
I would go in there. I agree.
Premier League's done and dusted, so.
I would go in if I was Rude. I'd go in. And I'll be like, listen, I've played for this club when it's actually won trophies and competed. None of yous, should be, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. I would tell him. I would, because what has he got to lose? He's interim. You got nothing to lose anyway. Anyway, there you go. Ivan says remove bold managers and bring the ones with hair.
That's right.
Your Liverpool manager is bold up and you trip up.
We need some luscious hair managers to come in. We need Ancelotti. He's got luscious hair.
Yeah. Mark says, my dad is Hearts and Man United. Hearts sacked their manager, Naismith, last week. He reckons Ten Hag is next. He is. Me and John have been saying it all night. But anyway, the poll, 57% said Erik Ten Hag will not see you till Christmas. If you're going by me and John, he's probably not going to see you 2 weeks. So there you go. But listen, thanks everyone for joining in. Thanks for the sub that came on board. If you're new to the channel, please remember to like, share, subscribe. All in all, it was actually a good show considering it was a depressing one. But Zakal, Zakal says, take care, KP, J Crom, and everyone in the live chat. Good night. Stay safe. I believe the boys are back tomorrow to do their grand final review. I think, not 100% sure. Is that right?
I think so. I'm working tomorrow night, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, I think they're back for that. I don't know what they're going to review. Pardon the pun, but it was a mauling by the Lions for that. But anyway, listen, guys, we'll see you on the next one. I think the podcast is Wednesday night. I don't know, now that there's no footy in that, there'll be a lot of gaming and stuff happening. Me and John try to put an NBA in there coming up. It's been good. Might try to do a watch along on the weekend for United Villa. Could be Erik's last game. I don't know. We'll see. Sunday night, see what I can do. But thanks for coming in, guys. It was awesome.
All right, take care.
Peace.